Hey everybody, good afternoon, happy Sukkot. We're about ready to enter the holiday of Simchat Torah. Tomorrow is Hoshana Rabbah, and tomorrow evening is already Shmini Atzeret. The rabbis tell us that why is it called Shmini Atzeret? Atzeret means to hold back, that after we celebrated 7 days with the Almighty of joy, of holiday, we brought sacrifices for all the nations in the time of the temple. God says, Jewish people, He says, please stay with me one extra day. I don't want you to leave. It's like a father or a mother whose kids come to celebrate with them. And then when they're ready to leave, their parents say, stay one more day so we can have a celebration. All the guests left. It's just me and my child. I want to be able to celebrate with my child. So too, God says, we celebrated the holiday of Sukkot. We represented all the nations. It was a time of celebration, but now I want my chosen people to stay with me for one extra day to celebrate together with me. And that's the holiday of Shmini Atzeret. And then comes Simchas Torah. The Baal Shem Tov tells us a fascinating thing about Simchas Torah. You know, Simchas Torah is a special holiday. I grew up in Crown Heights, and I have such vivid, special memories of Simchas Torah by the Rebbe. The joy was eternal. The joy was real. The joy was equal amongst everyone. Simchas Torah by night, we don't read the Torah in Chabad communities. We just dance with the Torah. And you know what the reason is? Because when you read the Torah and you start trying to understand it, then there's different levels. There's the intellectual, there's the intelligent people, there's the rabbis, there's the great sages, there's the great scholars, and then there's the simpleton who might just be able to read Tehillim or just pray or just does good deeds. But on Simchas Torah by night, we don't read the Torah. We just dance with it. We become the legs. We become the feet of the Torah. Because what we're celebrating is, as we say in the verse, Torah tziva lanu marash hakilas Yaakov. God, the commandments of the Torah were given to God by God to the people of Israel as an inheritance. An inheritance is equal amongst all kids. It doesn't make a difference if you're a scholar, if you're a simpleton. The Torah is everyone's. And that's what we celebrate on Simchas Torah. And the Baal Shem Tov told the students a fascinating thing. He said that in heaven, on the morning of Simchat Torah, the angels came, and the Jewish people were a little tired. They were sleeping in because the night before they danced all night. So what did the angels do? They were looking for what to do, and suddenly they see the angel Michael. Michael is the angel of kindness, and he's going around, and there's a pile of shoes, ripped shoes, and sneakers, and heels, and all these other things. And they look at him, they say, whose is this garbage? And he says, it's mine. And they say, what's it about? And he starts laughing. He says, usually the angel Matat, one of the great angels, every morning he takes the praises of the Jewish people, the prayers that we make, and he makes a crown for God with the prayers. But today is my special day. I take the heels of the shoes that the Jewish people danced with all night, and they got ripped, and they got holes in them, and I make a crown for God with these shoes, with these heels, with these soles. And that's the crown that's cherished by God more than everything. The holiday Simchas Torah is so cherished because it allows our inner joy to pulsate and to celebrate our connection with God. A Jew celebrates the greatest gift that God gave us on Simchas Torah. It's not about my intellect. It's not about how scholarly I am. It's that I'm a Jew and that God gave me a gift of Torah. And I saw a beautiful parable that I want to share with you. Imagine you go out for a date and you have a matchmaker who sets you up. In the observant world, that's the way they do it. And the matchmaker tells you, boy, do I have a lovely girl for you. I want you to start dating them, and then you date, and you come back from the first date, and the matchmaker says, how was it? And you say, I like this, I didn't like that, I'm going to go out on another date. And then you have a third date, and so on continues, till finally you start falling in love with this girl. And every time you meet this girl, the matchmaker calls you and says, hey, how did it go? After a while, you sit down to the matchmaker, you say, listen, thank you very much for all your efforts. And you give them a gift, and you say, but now I'm in love with this girl. I don't need anyone to get involved here. I don't need to report back to anyone. My connection with this woman is eternal. It's internal. It's one-on-one. I don't need any more advice from a matchmaker. And the rabbis say the same thing is with the Jewish people at Simchas Torah. The whole year, our heart is connected to Hashem, our soul. But we always have our mind that checks the balances. This is a good thing to do, this is right, this is wrong. Every day when our heart has an emotion, we check it in the mind and say, 1 second, is this a good thing or is it not a good thing? It's like a matchmaker. But then comes the day of Simchat Torah. And on the day of Simchat Torah, we tell the matchmaker, listen, leave me alone. Today I'm going to say l'chaim. Today I'm going to celebrate, not with my mind, just with my heart, just with my soul. I'm going to celebrate the greatest gift that God gave us. And I don't need any matchmakers. I don't need any connections. And that's my l'chaim to you. This is the most special and joyous holiday we have. This year it's on a weekend. It starts Friday night and it goes through Sunday evening. Celebrate the joy of the Torah. Celebrate the gift that God gave us of who we are. Don't focus on all the challenges. Don't focus on all the struggles. Focus on our connection to God and the gift He gave us. And I hope you'll be able to join us over the weekend. We have a lot of events going on, but especially on Sunday day, we have Simchas Torah celebration for the kids and adults, and for Saturday night, and we hope you can join us for them. Chag Sameach, and it should be a celebratory and joyous Simchas Torah for all, God willing.